Just like the Pro Series, the final circuit for the SRO E-Sport GT Am Championship will be chosen by you, the viewers. So with that in mind, let's take a look at the 4 contenders. Like many, I was really happy to see the resurrection of the 9 Hours of Kyalami event last year when SRO brought international GT racing back to the Johannesburg venue for the first time since the 1980s. The first 9-corner layout was fast and unforgiving, but the modern incarnation adds a technical element, making this venue perfectly suited to GT3 racing. And from what I've seen, racing is the word here. Compared to the other IGTC circuits, Kyalami may well provide the best opportunity for close racing. Definitely something to think about when you place your vote. At first glance, Kyalami looks fairly straightforward, but there's a lot of time to be found in the numerous late apex corners and a lot of time to be lost in costly mistakes, small and large. There's also the small matter of what is, in my opinion at least, the most lethal curb on the entire SRO calendar. Bathurst and the Mount Panorama circuit may well be the most popular track in Assetto Corsa Competizione, and with good reason. As far as challenges go, this one is pretty unique, and as a test of driver, car, setup and strategy, there can be no denying that Mount Panorama ticks a lot of boxes. To start with, there's the small matter of 600 feet of elevation change between the pits and the top of the mountain. Once you get up the hill, you're treated to a tightly walled section that has more in common with Monaco than Mountain. And once you reach the other side, you're greeted with the expansive Conrod Straight, which sees some of our GT3 cars hitting over 280 km an hour before having to weigh anchor for the chase. And all of that in under 2 minutes. If you're looking to put our drivers to the ultimate test, then there's probably no better circuit in Assetto Corsa Competizione. But will it produce the best race for our finale? With Mount Panorama, our drivers will be racing against the formidable circuit, but with Laguna Seca will likely be a good mix of challenging racing and a challenging circuit. The Monterey venue is the shortest circuit on the calendar, and with our well-stocked AM grid, there's going to be a lot of cars trying to occupy a very small amount of real estate. And what a piece of real estate it is, packing in a variety of corners and what I consider to be the best section of track in the world, the run from the fast turn 6 up the hill through the corkscrew and the deceptively tricky rainy curve that follows it, in my mind at least, is as good as it gets. Overtaking can be tricky here. The circuit's narrow and the fastest parts are invariably the trickiest. On top of all of that, backmarkers are likely to play a bigger role than usual thanks to the short lap. I expect Laguna Seca will make for some pretty entertaining viewing. As a driver, I don't think it would be my first choice, but as a punter, this one would definitely get my vote. Suzuka is a place that needs no introduction. It's a driver's circuit, it's a racer's circuit. Get it right and it's one of the most rewarding places you'll ever drive a car in a racing sim, and I'd wager the real thing's pretty similar too. Turn 1 is an event, especially in the wet, while technical corner sequences like Snake and Spoon require incredibly precise car placement. The Degnas require total commitment, and 130R still gives you plenty to think about even with all of that tarmac runoff. Add in the usual driver-pleasing factors like elevation change and some impressive scenery, and you're left with something pretty memorable. And as far as racing goes, this place always seems to produce the goods. Suzuka was one of the most eagerly awaited circuits in Assetto Corsa Competizione, and I'd wager it's going to be a popular choice for our final round. The vote will go live after the main race broadcast, so we'll get to see very, very soon where our AM final will be taking place.